Tanya, you shot to prominence during the COVID lockdown of 2021 and 22, arguing against vaccine mandates for your hard-working and often unfairly targeted constituents. And the first chance they got in the state election on March 25, they rewarded you with a swing towards you, which went against the trend elsewhere in the state, resulting in a massive 61% of the two-party vote. Now, we hear a lot about the Liberals and Nationals losing elections these days because they're just not left-wing enough. But Tanya, your result suggests the opposite might be true. What's your take on it?
Oh, well, look, absolutely. Perhaps I might just do a quick history recount of my seat. I was first elected in 2011 and I took the seat which had been held by Labor for 16 years. And I'd worked very, very hard ever since to support and serve my community. And that has been my first and only priority, which is my community comes first. And so when there are situations in government that arise where I feel very, very deeply and strongly that I do not support or do not agree, and I can see that it's going to be harmful and hurtful for my community, I cannot but speak out and stand up on behalf of my community and be their voice into government and even beyond in terms of the media and having these issues raised and aired on their behalf. And I have to tell you that throughout pre-poll and also throughout the election day, I had people coming up to me every single day thanking me for what I did on their behalf on my Facebook Live videos and in the press, standing up and speaking out about the vaccine mandates and also the harsh lockdowns that really impacted my community. Every single day people were thanking me. And as you said at the beginning in your intro, this was going back way back to 2021. So people remember, and I knew that they would remember how they were treated and how they felt by the former Liberal National government under those very, very harsh restrictions and those really, really tough vaccine mandates. And I knew that I was their voice and it was my honour and privilege to be their voice. I just wish I could have actually shifted the dial faster and quicker on their behalf and on these matters.
Well, it brought you into conflict with a lot of your colleagues, both state and federal, and you obviously didn't take a backward step. Your defence of the rights of your constituents was one of the few positive highlights of those 2 years, I'd have to say. Do you think there should be a Royal Commission into how we responded to COVID?
Absolutely. There's no question about it. There are a huge range of issues and questions that need to be thoroughly, fairly, and without bias, transparently investigated. Everything from why wasn't our original pandemic plan followed? Why was that chucked out the window and this whole new concept of lockdowns being instructed by the World Health Organization adopted by our country? Why were we forced to actually have this injection in our community, in healthy people? Why were schools shut down? Why were playgrounds shut down? Like, everything needs to be examined. And I urge the governments who are in power now to actually tackle this first and foremost, because there is going to be another pandemic, because they always have been pandemics. So we need to learn quickly. We need to learn what worked, what didn't work. How do we communicate with our communities, particularly with the multicultural communities that are out there? How do we actually explain? And how do we convince people to do things with science, not with fear, not with bullying, not with intimidation, which is what my community experienced. And that was absolutely unacceptable. And it was just a grotesque period of our history in New South Wales.